Go Jackets.
What is going on, everyone, and welcome to WreckTalk. Apologize for no videos live yesterday. I'm a little under the weather, and I'd kind of lost my voice yesterday, so Macho Wreck is going through something similar, so there won't be any Macho Wreck stuff. But I'll tell you what makes my throat feel better is sipping some coffee from my WreckTalk mug. If you'd like a WreckTalk mug, there's a link for that in the description of the video. We have mugs, hats, and shirts. That's good. All right. Most important game of the season for us. Georgia Tech has not been to a bowl since 2018, since Paul Johnson's last year as head coach for the Jackets. Making a bowl is step one in this rebuild. We have to take things one step at a time. I don't know how the majority of Tech fans feel, but I feel like if we don't make a bowl this year, that's a disappointing season. I know it's Key's first year, and it's not the end of the world for me, but it is a big disappointment if we don't make a bowl. We have to find a way to win this game, whatever that is. Now, we're going to look at some details, some things that really scare me that Syracuse does, just because I know what our defense is like. That being said, last week, obviously, not the result that we wanted. But I didn't mention this in like the post-game thing. I think it's a mistake not to have given Zach Pyron the last 3 series or so. Like, I don't understand that. Like, it really does seem like stat padding for Haynes King. Like, I've got to call it how I see it. What happens if this Saturday Haynes King goes down and you have to bring Pyron in, and he really hasn't had more than like 5 snaps all year in game, when you could have given him a few series to get, the feel of a game again against Clemson when you're getting your brains beat in anyway? I really don't understand that. I guess it's water under the bridge because there's nothing we can do about it now. But you absolutely got to find a way to win this game against Syracuse. Now, Syracuse, by most accounts, is not a good team. In fact, you'd probably say they're kind of a bad team. They're also hunting a bowl. They get a win against Pitt last week in one of the sloppiest games that you'll probably ever want to watch. There's 5 turnovers in the game, 4 from Pitt, 1 from Syracuse. That brings them to their 5th win. So we're both hunting a bowl here. I think Syracuse has a winnable game after this. But this game is important to both of us. It's going to be a night game at Bobby Dodd. That's right, the next 2 games. I think this game is at 8. It's going to be on the ACC network. And then UGA will be 7:30. And I don't remember what network that one's on. But if, it is realistic for you to go to these 2 games, we got to get there. We've got to support our Jackets. I'd say there's not a cooler environment than a night game in Atlanta. It's a really cool thing. Tickets should be easy to come by. So definitely do that. With that being said, let's look at these 2 teams. First, Tech. Some of these, like, rushing stats rolled backwards, and receiving stats. Like, Rutherford has less receiving yards this week than he did last week. Anyways, Georgia Tech total offense, we've dropped 11 spots from, I think, 13th to 24th, averaging 442 yards a game. Our offense was absolutely shut down last week. Run offense drops 10 spots, and, that's pretty significant. Once you get 10 games of data in these averages, it is really hard to have a ton of movement like that. In ranking, that tells you how bad we were offensively last year. Still good enough to average for 295 yards per game, and that's going to be something we're going to have to do against Syracuse. It's something that we should be able to do. Our offense does not work if we can't run the ball. We'll talk about that. Pass offense, 52nd, dropped a few spots, 248.8 yards a game through the air. Total D, and this is embarrassing, 130th in the country. I think there's only 132 teams. So there's only 2 teams worse than us in defense. And I'll be honest with you, I don't really care what sort of personnel issues you have, that you're a Power 5 team and you are ranked 130th in defense. I don't understand. I don't understand how it can be that bad. If we just had an average defense or like a marginally bad defense, meaning if we were just ranked like 80th total defense, we could be an 8-win team this year. I don't understand how you're a Power 5 team and you're giving up 454 yards a game. And that's been the story for Tech since Paul left, aside from when Key took over as interim last year for those games. It was different. But anyways, run defense, I think we're dead last in the country. I don't think anyone's worse at defending the run than us, giving up 224 yards per game on the ground. Pass defense, pretty mid, as the kids say, giving up 230.8 yards a game. That's good for 75th in the country. Haynes King approaching some milestones for Tech. He's got 2,459 yards passing on the year, 24 touchdowns. Goes from 10 interceptions last week to 14 this week. Throws 4 picks. And that's the thing we're going to talk about in a more detailed breakdown. Kind of how that can go, but we've seen at times this year when the game is tight, when Haynes is not getting a lot of help from stuff around him, he will force a ball. I don't know why we can't admit that. No, we're not forcing it. We're just trying to make a play. What's the difference? If it results in 4 picks, seems like you're probably forcing things. That being said, he is everything Georgia Tech offense. It really starts with him being able to run the ball. He had -3 yards rushing last week. In fact, his rushing yards, he has less rushing yards this week than he did last week. Speaking of rushing, leading rusher Jamal Haynes, 768 yards on the ground, 6 touchdowns. He's been great. We're going to need to have good games from him, Dante Smith, and Haynes King. We haven't seen Travion Cooley like in the past 2 weeks, so I don't excuse me, so I don't know what's going on there with him. Got to have a good ground game. Excuse me. Eric Singleton Jr. has like 30 yards receiving last week, 580 yards on the year, 6 touchdowns. Big story, he had 2 really bad drops last week. Had 1 bad drop against Virginia on 4th down, ended up in a turnover. The key for us in the passing game is going to be him springing free on man-on-man coverage. And, well, we'll get into it. Rutherford for 428 yards. He has less receiving yards this week than he did last week. Had negative receiving yards last week. 3 touchdowns on the year. Let's look at Syracuse. The Oranges there. Total O, they're 90th in the country, only averaging 358 yards a game. They don't have a very good offense. What we're going to see, though, is, and I don't know if this is a trend toward, recently. I suspect it is because they've struggled on offense. They run a lot of just BS gimmicky stuff on offense. And I'm not just talking about that backflip that their quarterback hit against Pitt last week, I guess to distract them from the wide receiver pass. Did I say gimmicky? They like to just not run their quarterback out a lot, direct snap it to a wide receiver, run with him. Very odd. They even run gimmicky things on special teams. And the reason that it pisses me off so, and I hate to admit it, is because I think it'll work against Georgia Tech's defense. I really do. We are not super disciplined when it comes to stuff like that defensively. And we're going to have to get that way in a hurry this week. Run offense, pretty mid. 42nd in the country, 176 yards per game. They're definitely, the strength of their offense is running the ball. It's definitely not throwing the ball. In fact, they're 110th in the country in throwing the ball. That tells you there's only 20, 25 teams worse at throwing the football than them, averaging 182 yards a game. Total D, 76, giving up about 381 yards a game. They like to run a lot of zone and then mix in aggression with blitzing off of it. But from what I'm seeing, for the most part, they just like to sit in zone, keep things in front of them, not let you beat them deep. Run defense, Syracuse ranked 56 in the country, giving up 143 yards a game. Pass defense ranked 90th, 237 yards a game. So we should be able to both run and throw against this team. We go from playing the 6th-ranked defense to what? The 72nd ranked defense. So if we can't get something going on offense this week, then I throw my hands up and say we don't deserve to make a bowl. If we can't score points against Syracuse, and if we can't blow up some of this gimmicky nonsense they like to do offensively, then we don't deserve to make a bowl. And I'll stand by that. A lot of what they do on offense has to do with Garrett Schrader. What is he? He's been like a 3-year starter now. Has not had a great year. He's only missed one game this year, and I think that was the week before last. That's why the backflip that he did really made no sense to me, but whatever. When you're, only have like one ACC win, why not do some gymnastics on the field? Whatever. 1,518 yards to the air, 10 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. So that's less than mid as for you kids out there. Not very good. That has a lot to do with them being ranked 110th in pass offense. LaQuint Allen, leading rusher, he's a good player. He's someone you're going to have to rein in. 797 yards, 7 touchdowns on the year. Schrader is their 2nd leading rusher. Much like Haynes King is to Tech, so is Schrader to Syracuse. 412 yards on the ground for them, 7 touchdowns. We're going to see a lot of Schrader running the ball, which is going to require really good linebacker play. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not super confident. Leading receiver is Damian Alford, 389 yards and a touchdown, and then Hatcher, 375 yards, 2 touchdowns. Look, they should not throw for more than 200 on us. We should be able to hold them under 200 yards passing. The game plan for Georgia Tech should be stack the box, spy whoever they have at the quarterback position, whether it's a wide receiver, Schrader, their quarterback, a running back, a right guard, or whatever weirdo offensive stuff they want to do. We should take that away from them. We should spy whoever the quarterback is. And it wouldn't even hurt my feelings if we run a 4-3 all night and bring Powell Lee in at the linebacker spot to spy who's ever at the quarterback. In fact, I would really hope that we do that. I don't know that we have any linebackers maybe Tatum or White has the speed to do it, but we're going to have to run spy all night. I think defensively we should man up all night, bring a ton of pressure. Look, if we're just committed to having Mola out there, whatever, I've given my opinion on that, just blitz him every play. Because he's not going to do anything in coverage for you anyway. So just blitz him every play. Maybe he can get to the quarterback, and it takes up one of their blockers' responsibility. So blitz every play he's out there, just blitz him. We should be able to man up and hold them to under 200 yards of offense or 200 yards of pass offense. If we can't do that, don't think we deserve to make a bowl. I will say, especially in man coverage, zone coverage, seems like we don't do well in zone. I mean, at times we don't do well man-to-man either, but it's like we get feet stuck in the sand in zone coverage, and we just kind of wait for something to happen as opposed to really reacting and getting in our assigned spots. But where it shows up the most is 3rd and 18. We're in zone. We're only rushing our down 4. Quarterback takes off for a 25-yard gain. He's not touched until he already gets the first down. I don't understand that. And that needs to stop yesterday. Okay? I don't understand how out of 11 players, when the quarterback takes off and he's beyond the line of scrimmage, that not one of those 11 players can't make a play on the quarterback. And this guy right here, if that's what we do and allow, he'll run for Schrader will run for 200 yards against us. That's why you got to spy him all night. Again, take my suggestion, run a 4-3, and just have Powell Lee at linebacker. That's what I would do. So, with that being said, let's switch over here to the left screen. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. We're going to see a lot of this quarterback draw. A lot of times they like to motion a wide receiver. They'll motion the tight end one side to the other, probably depending on how the defense is lined up to try to get an advantage with numbers. They're okay, I guess, at offensive line, but they kind of sometimes play with their feet in the sand too. So the defense gets all bundled up here in the middle. Even your defensive back has come way up here, and Schrader just gets the edge. Now tell me if this doesn't look like, what does this look like as it pertains to Tech's defense? Boston College with that Casanello's cat? Yeah. Do I have any reason to think Schrader won't do this to Georgia Tech's defense? No. No, I don't, and that's why I'm concerned. We're going to see a lot of that. They just have a wide receiver here. I don't even think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe their quarterback's up here. They like to just snap it straight to their wide receiver, line him up at quarterback, and they say, "Hey, dummies, we're running it no matter what. You can't do anything about it." Doesn't look like Pitt has a very good linebacker play either. Again, for all of you that's watched Georgia Tech football, does any of this look familiar as far as what offenses have done successfully against our defense? Asking for a friend. We're going to see a lot of that gimmicky nonsense. Speaking of gimmicky nonsense, this was a wide receiver pass And check this out. Hey-o. I don't really understand why you would do that, but I mean, it looks cool. I'll be honest, if I was playing defensive back there, I probably would have ran up and just knocked the crap out of him mid backflip. Don't you ever disrespect me doing a backflip in my face. I wouldn't, and I wouldn't even apologize for it. It's a really weird. Like I said, speaking of gimmicky nonsense, that's what they like to do. Let's take a look at this. I don't even know if this is a quarterback or not. Probably not. It might be a running back. Now, so this is their quarterback. They're motioning him to like fake the jet sweep. Weird. And then hand it off to him. Now, I will tell you this. Sometimes, and more often than sometimes, this gimmicky nonsense results in turnovers for them. Because you have a guy that's not a quarterback doing quarterback duties, like handing it off, flipping it. That can result in turnovers. So keep an eye out on that. Here's another weirdo formation. Pretty much the same thing. Another turnover off of it. Now, I said they like to do it on special teams too, right? They've got, this huge shift to the right side of the screen here. I think they almost blocked this actually off the left side. See that? They shuffle right before the snap. Oh, he almost blocked that. I hope we're watching this stuff. I know we are. I just see this quirky stuff and I'm like, I think that'll work against us. I just do. Quickly, looking at them on defense, I said they like to play a lot of zone. They're in a cover 2 here. I mean, look how far back everyone is. Where was the original line of scrimmage? Okay, right here. Look how far back everyone gets. Kind of looks like how Tech plays zone. Haynes King should have a field day with that. I do think we have good wide receivers. I do think King can, find the holes in these zones. But you should be able to run on that all day too. Force them into manning up, throw it to Singleton, throw it to Leary, throw it to your speed guys. If we can't score 35 points on this defense, not good. Here's them blitzing. And what do I say? If you can't get the quarterback on a blitz, or at least you can't affect them, probably in for a bad time. They have the right, or not the right, but a good route called here. They have a slant coming in right behind where both linebackers blitzed from. Gets it out quick, missed tackle, touchdown. Now that's going to be key for our offense too. This has been, I think, the fairest criticism of Tech's offense is every route seems to be either this perimeter screen. Let me switch back so you can see my beautiful face. Basically it's either behind the line of scrimmage on this perimeter screen or it's thrown 20 or more yards downfield. And what that means is if the other team blitzes and we have trouble picking it up, and sometimes they just blitz more than you have blockers, you're going to have to take a sack or you're going to throw a pick because you don't have time to get a good throw off. I want to see medium passing routes this week, 10 yards and in. With how they like to play so off in zone, we should be able to tear that up all night. Drags, curls, slants. Can we do that? So let's review. We know what the importance of this game is. Night game, 8 o'clock at the dot. I'll be there because I'm a man and I'm 40. What are the keys to victory for first Syracuse? Defensively, I would say they're going to have to pick their spots. They can't do what Clemson did, just blitz, stack the box, and man up. I think we kill them if they do that. I think they need to pick their spots with blitzing, play a lot of zone like they have, and kind of hope that Haynes King makes some mistakes. Or that Tech is, committed to throwing the ball and not establishing the run. I don't think there's going to be a lot Syracuse does against our offense unless our offense makes a lot of mistakes. Offensively for them, I'm sure their plan is going to be run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, do as much gimmicky nonsense to confuse our already confused linebackers. That would be the keys to victory for Syracuse. For Tech, defensively, you need to have someone spying their quarterback or whoever is lined up at the quarterback position 100% of those defensive downs. I would blitz a lot, I would be super aggressive, and I would play man-on-man coverage all night. Because I think our defensive backs are as good or better than their wide receivers. Offensively, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, read option, RPO, Haynes and Haynes. Tear up their soft zone with running and short passing routes. And once you've established the run and baited them into manning up with you, Singleton, Blaylock, throw it to your speed guys, your big guys, and torch them through the air. So, I apologize if that was a little more scatterbrained and disorganized. I've been trying to get over whatever this illness is that I've had. Let me know what you guys think going into the game. What do you think? I'm worried. I'm worried about the gimmicky stuff they do on offense and them just having a career day offensively against us, because we tend to do that to every team we play as it pertains to the defense. Score prediction, I do think we win this game. Let's see. I think it's fairly close, too. I don't think it's like a Virginia situation or anything. I'd say we win this game. We get our stuff together on offense. 42-35 or 42-38. That's my score prediction. Georgia Tech 42, Syracuse 38. That's a lot of points to give up to the 110th ranked defense, but we're pretty much the worst defense in the country. So, again, let me know what you guys think. I will see you at the game. Check out the live show tomorrow night. And if no one's told you today, WreckTalk loves you. Y'all have a good one.